Hello again and welcome. In today's video I'm going to be introducing you to three products from the Simon Hope range from Hope Wood Turning. One of them being a spring-loaded drive centre set, and the second being a water repellent wax for the coating the inside of goblets, etc. And the third, and by no means least, some crack filling powder available in various colours. We'll go into more detail in that as we go through the video. So without further ado, let's get up close and personal with these products. Now the set comes well packaged, foam inserts for the three drives and also the holder. Now the holder and the drives are case hardened, and the drives come in three sizes: a 15mm, a 25mm, and for the larger items a 35mm diameter. Now the big plus of these is that they're 3 Morse taper, and the majority of lathes are 2 Morse taper, as you know, and that's why you put the holder into the chuck. Now what I shall do is to show you up close how it works and the advantage of having a chuck mounted centre. Now you secure the holder into the chuck by means of this flange for a 50mm chuck, but the Axminster, both the C jaws and the medium gripper jaws, which I can use this on, will actually grip onto the shoulder like so, and is perfectly secure. Then let's just put in the 25mm, that slots in, and as I say, it has a 3 Morse taper body. The teeth are extremely sharp and have a good depth to them as well, and as I explained, the centre is spring loaded. So you pop that in there like so, and when you've done your tenon or whatever you want to do, you merely remove it from the chuck, and then you can place your piece into the chuck with a ready formed tenon. The other advantage is if you want to just do spindle turning, then you can keep this in the chuck, you can do your spindle turning, and then when you want to do some work with your chuck, you merely remove it. You haven't got to keep unscrewing your chuck and putting in your drive centres. The other advantage, small though it may be, is that your spindle threads are covered as well, where you don't have the chance of slipping off your spindle work and possibly damaging the threads on your spindle. So just to show you how convenient it is, we want to put a tenon on this end here, and this is for the C jaws. So just square off the end. Okay, and then we'll just form the tenon. A little bit more. Okay, so we've now got the tenon formed and we want to start turning the piece. Well, all you do is remove the centre holder and the drive and place it in your chuck, and away you go. So it is a really good system to utilise for both spindle turning and indeed for turning with tenons. Now let's say we want to go from doing that to doing a bit of small spindle work, let's just say finials or whatever. Take out the holder, just tap it on your bedways, and we'll put in the 15mm now, because I want to do some small work. Again, notice obviously the chuck remains in situ all the time, and I can put in the 15mm. We've got a little skinny little blank here to work on, and again, as I keep saying, I haven't removed the chuck or anything, and away we go, and we can start turning on this as well. So, and of course, if you then wanted to do something really large, then again, simple, just take out the center, quick tap on the bedways, and we can put the big one in exactly the same way, and we haven't in actual fact had to remove the chuck at all. And we just pop that in, and there we've got the 35mm, and we can carry on without turning. And the next item is the Koenig Wood Cream Plus. Now this is a water repellent cream. Full instructions and recommendations are on Simon's website for the application of this. It depends on the wood and the openness of the grain, etc, etc. But in a nutshell, the idea is to apply one thin coat, allow around 24 hours for it to cure, and if there's no residue, that means that the grain has absorbed the cream. So apply another coat and carry on. It could be 2, 3, 4 coats, allowing 24 hours in between each coat, and when there is a residue, that means that the absorption is complete. Take off the excess, and you can, in actual fact, on the penultimate coating of the cream, you could apply an oil if you wish, and then when that's cured, you can apply the final coat of cream. So you then get a water repellent and indeed a waterproof surface, ideal for the inside of, let's say, goblets. Now this is a bit of Pippy oak, which I turned quite a few years ago now and never put a finish on it. So the idea in a nutshell is to sand the surface to 240 grit, get rid of any dust and residue on that, and then start applying the cream. Now I've got some very dirty water here. On this one I've applied 3 coats and allowed 3 24-hour periods for it to cure, and the overhead should show you. There's the water in there, and obviously not dishwasher friendly. Just chuck the water away, give it a light rinse, and then with a tea towel, in this case a paper towel, just take off the bulk of the wet, and you're ready to go for the next drink of whatever it is you want. It's also important to mention that it's not just effective with water. You can use wine and beer if you so wish, and I've been assured that it doesn't stain, so that it's effective with those liquids as well. And one thing it is not suitable for is standing water, like in flower vases, etc. And finally, we've got the range of powders for filling cracks, and they're ultra fine, 63 micron, go into the cracks really well, and you would use these instead of, let's say, using the powder that is produced from that particular turning, or indeed in my case I use coffee ground quite a bit, but this gives me an option of adding some contrasting colour to the piece I'm working on. They're available at the moment in copper, brass and aluminium, and there are 2 ways of applying it. You can put them into the cracks and apply an epoxy. I personally, and it is suggested, it is an option, I personally prefer using the thin CA glue. Now if it's a deep crack, you would have to build it up in layers as you would normally, allow each layer to cure and then apply more, leaving it slightly proud of the surface. Do a final finishing cut and then polish, sand and polish as you would normally, and you'll get a really nice finish and a nice contrasting colour. I've got here a piece of hairy oak, which was very kindly given to me by my friend Les Barker on one of his visits a few years ago, and it's got some deep cracking here. So I'll just, on this particular one, I'm going to use the brass, and the top unscrews and allows you to apply and just squeeze it in, and then I tend to use a brush just to brush it into the crack. So this is quite a deep crack, so what we would do is do it in layers, as I say. So Put that in there. Because what will happen is when you've applied the thin CA, it will reduce from the surface. Okay, so that's the first layer, and then just apply thin CA over the top like so, and let that cure, and then repeat the process. Apply more powder, more CA, and build it up so it's just a little bit proud of the surface, and then it will sand back and, as I say, take a nice finish. As most of you know, I liked the opportunity to use masking tape where I can. What I've done, I've just concentrated on this piece here for the sake of the video and time. So what I did, I applied another couple of layers of the powder and thin CA glue, allowed it to set, didn't add any accelerator or anything, just let it set and cure naturally. Then I sanded it back. I did it by hand, so because this piece isn't round, and it was only a demonstration anyway. So I've sanded it back to 320, then I've got rid of all the dust, applied a sanding sealer, let that go off, and then applied Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. And just this little area here, that's why I've taped it off. You can see the effect. It takes a nice finish and it looks really nice. Well, I hope you found that video of some interest. If you have any queries or questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my very best to answer them. Or indeed, you can contact Simon directly at Hope Woodturning and he will answer any queries or questions you have. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you very soon on the next one. Cheers now.